If you want to write a book and become a best-selling author, you're in the right place. At Elite Online Publishing, we can help you create, publish, and market your book so that it becomes a #1 bestseller. We work with a limited number of authors to ensure that they receive the best possible service. So if you want to learn how to write and publish a book that will empower you to smartly grow your brand, business, and credibility, apply today. We look forward to working with you.
It's Jenn Foster here with the Elite Publishing Podcast. We are super excited to talk about books, how to write books, how to publish books, why you should self-publish, how to write a book if you don't know how. And today we have an expert with us. We have Barry Coziahr, and he has actually helped a lot of authors write their books. And his wife is a 9, almost 10-time best-selling author as well for romance. So welcome, Barry.
Hi. Hey, thanks for having me. I'm really excited about books. I love books.
Now, tell us how you first got started in the book publishing industry or book marketing industry.
Wow. Okay. So, I went to work for a publisher. I was hired as an outside sales rep. After I took this class, was basically helped me recover my ability to read and study. And I took that. It took months and months to get through this class. And I started reading books for fun after that, which I'd never done before. The first book I read was the novelization of the movies, The Dark Man, which is a sci-fi film, old classic sci-fi film, Dark Man, which is Liam Neeson,
Awesome.
strangely enough, one of his fantastic film. So I read it on an airplane flying home for Christmas. And I was after a session of this course. And I went, wow, I love books. And, and it was a first for me. My dad was always a book lover, but I wasn't. And he'd had books around. He had Jaws. And this is obviously, I'm dating myself. This is back in the day. We're talking back in the 80s, late 80s.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting
early
how
90s.
most amazing movies were a book first, right?
Yeah. Well, book or
Yeah.
right? Even, One Piece right there, that right there, that anime right
Yeah.
there. That's the One Piece was an anime before it was anything else. And they adapted it into both. I'm sorry, it was a manga,
Right.
or if I said that, a
Yeah.
manga. Sorry, manga. I'm just learning about the whole thing. Manga, and made that first, and then it became, anime, and now it's live action, right? And so you get this whole transition, and you think about it, they got the storyboards already with its comic
Right.
book. It's all planned out for them almost. If they just stick to what was, they should take the best selling ones and turn them into a
Right.
movie or a TV show. It's brilliant. Right. And then they have novelizations. Like there's apparently great novelization for Revenge of the Sith. I can't tell them to start. You got the title there and stuff. So basically you got these great, novelizations that come out, and that's the fiction side of things. But then there's the other side of things, which is about people sharing their knowledge, right? Or you end up loving a genre like Jane Austen. You start reading Regency romance. Like my wife during COVID, she read 300 Regency romance books. As it turned out, at the time, it was to fill the time, right? Even though she had a full-time job, but my wife's very efficient, right? So she then come home and she's like, she read one book in a night, right? So it took her sometimes a book and a half,
Right.
right? I mean, that's how fast a reader she is. She's incredible. And then she read 300 of those, and she's like, she said, I want to write. I'm like, great. And I expanded my business, and we made it within a year. We made it totally possible for her to leave her job and come home and write, which is not only her dream, but one of my first jobs, like I said, is I went to work for nonfiction books, and I got to learn all about the publishing industry working for a publisher. And that's well before I opened my own company. And now I have she has her own company. She has her own independent publishing company called Rogue Press, where she publishes her books. And similar to what you do, right? You're like, she's a genius, right? And she's able to do it full time. But if you're not able to do it full time and you want to get started, well, then they need to hire you, right? They need to hire you to like all that together. So, anyway, I have my own publishing company. I mean, I do now.
Not yet.
Claire runs
You do
publishing.
now.
Yeah. Claire has one. Claire has her own public just for her, though. It's really just
independent.
for her. Yeah, she's an independent author. And so I worked for a publisher, and then I had my own company. And as my own company, we help nonfiction authors. Like, sorry to turn my back on the camera, but I've got you know, I've got authors that I helped actually design their book
Hmm.
covers, did market
Nice.
research, design their book covers, right? Came up with exactly what people wanted to and what they were interested in that this book could deliver. Same with this one, which made it into Barnes and
Hmm.
Noble on the shelves because of our work.
Nice.
And we designed the cover and we did all the
Hmm.
research.
That
Yeah.
looks good.
And my wife did a lot of it.
Well, and for these ones,
Yeah,
did you
here's one.
do independent publishing, like with their company name, or did you just do,
We didn't do any
you just
we
helped
didn't do
them create
anything. We
it?
just did the we just did
Awesome.
the marketing book. We just did the marketing part of it,
Hmm.
which was we did the cover design and the market research. That's all we
Okay.
did. And then we're not a publishing
Yeah.
company,
You just helped with
right?
the marketing.
You know, yeah, we help with the marketing and we can give them I can give you an assistant that can do typesetting if you want, but anyway, but yes, yeah, that's what it was. So I obviously have a love for the
Mhm.
publishing industry for many different reasons, including my own personal journey, becoming loving to read, like I read books like crazy on business. I got so many books that I just grab a stack of them here on business. I got people who are teaching me things about business that are incredible.
Mhm.
These are some of my favorites that are on the shelf, right?
Right, because that the
And
way that we need
you
to
know,
learn is from those who have done it before, which, a lot of people say,
that's
"Oh,
right.
it's kinda trendy to do independent publishing now." Well, it is because if you look at who the top people are, like, who are making all the money, Taylor Swift makes quite a bit of money, and guess what she did? She went independent, right? So, she
Yes, we're
she
independent.
redid all her
That's right.
songs so she could make all the money so that
Yeah.
the publisher or the producer wasn't making it all.
Daughters are fully grown, 30 years old. They love Taylor Swift,
Right.
right? We're so glad she went independent. She's able to grow. I mean, she
Exactly.
is a corporation.
Yes. Exactly.
You can either do that, like with my wife, she's got a whole following. She's found somebody to do the audio for her. She does the ebook. She does her own
Mhm.
covers. She does everything. And she used to run my marketing company. She does every piece of it. But not everybody wants to do all that, right?
Right.
Doesn't mean there's stuff they should be doing because they've got a higher paying job they don't want to do. They
Yeah.
don't know how to do. So they need people like you and people like me,
Yes.
right? And just contact you because you'll contact
There you
me,
go.
right? I mean,
Yeah. Well,
uh, and
let's
and
talk about the importance of that. So I think a lot of authors think, "Oh, I'm just gonna put my ebook up on because I can have an ebook that's like short." And they forget about the other formats of the book. Or the opposite, they're like, "Well, I only want a paperback because I don't read Kindle. Who's gonna read Kindle?" Right? Or I don't read ebooks.
mhm.
Who's gonna read an ebook? Or the audiobook seems too
Well, you
daunting. I don't
see
want an audiobook. That seems hard. I don't want to read it. So tell us why you think
well,
it's important to do all four formats.
yeah, you said it to me. You said not everybody consumes content the same way,
Right.
and you're totally true and totally correct what you said. Like, I know of somebody who won't read my wife's books because they until they were on audio because she reads when she's exercising or jogging or whatever she's doing. And so she plugs in her audiobook and that's a
Mhm.
blast. And, and so, that's one thing for her, right? Me, I'm like, I enjoy sometimes let's say I'm taking a long car drive. Well, if I'm by myself, I might do business books. Or, if I'm with the family, we used to do Harry Potter,
Yeah.
right? That's the whole Harry Potter
Yep.
series as it was coming
We
out
did
pretty
that
much.
and the Divergent
And
series too. We listened to that in the car.
yeah, yeah, those are great. So we got to listen to those in the car and that made a long trip go much
Yeah,
shorter.
less
And
fighting,
it
right?
was
Less fighting. The kids
yeah, well,
fighting.
it was less fun. Yeah, plus it's like going I don't know about you, but, like, it becomes a community
Yeah.
experience, because you're like when you go to the movies, well, this group of people is enjoying that thing together, now it's community
Mhm.
experience. I even like it when I go to a place and the author will read to
Mm,
us,
mhm.
and the author he'll read us a section of his book and because now I'm not I'm part of a
Yeah.
community. I'm actually enjoying that. I like to go and I'll read books to people. I'll do a book summary, like in my upcoming podcast that I'm
Mhm.
doing, right? I'm going to have book summaries on business books. One of the things I'll do, I'll summarize this book for you and I'll tell you, go read it and get the full thing, or I could say, hey, I could summarize your book.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, that would be
Right.
great. That'd be great. I'd love to do that.
That would be great. Well, tell us now. I heard you're
Yeah,
writing a book. So tell us your process of how you've been writing. And this is your first book, right?
sure. Yeah. I wouldn't call me, I mean, I can write, but whereas I'm like, my wife's like, yeah, she doesn't have to look at the keyboard, right? She's thinking she's typing as quick as she thinks, right? Me, I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
One,
I mean, I
that's
do
how
a
my
little bit
dad
fast,
did, one finger at a time.
right? That's an
Yeah.
exaggeration, but it's relatively speaking, it's about like that. I'm not a typist like she is. She can touch type. She's trying to get me to take a touch type class. I'm like, okay, maybe. So I mean, yeah, I'd rather be talking to you
Mhm.
than doing an hour of
Yeah.
study. So on that, although I do like to study. But basically what I'm doing is, I mean, I do create some things but I'm a public
Mhm.
speaker and I like doing podcasts. So I'd rather take this interview and make it a part one of the
Mhm.
stories that I tell. Like, how can you use an assistant to publish your book? How can you use tools to publish your book? I mean, I might take this and put it into my assistant
Mhm.
book, as an example. But so to tell you how I do it is I'll create an outline by having a meeting with somebody and going over my entire outline and doing discussion, right? And then I'll literally take the transcript from that and I'll pump it into a transcriber or an AI and give it to an assistant to do all
Mhm.
that, right? And they'll come back to me with, here's your outline. Great. And great. So let's go ahead and dig in deeper. What books do I want to talk about? I want to talk about books in this
Mhm.
book. So good. Let's do a meeting and we'll talk about this section of this next chapter. We just do meeting after meeting, recording different pieces of the book, transcribing them, even use AI tools and virtual assistants like I have, because you may not know how to use an AI efficiently, but my assistants do.
Yeah.
And basically, we're going to take that in there. We're going to pump it in. We're going to come out with the chapters. And then, of course, we'll go through and clean it up, change it, make sure it's my voice, make sure it's me. I'll go through and make lots of changes. We'll go through I mean, maybe not as many rounds of edits as my wife on her Regency books, because I think she does 9 round edits and,
However many it
including
takes.
proofreading
Yeah.
and all
Yeah.
that.
However many it takes, right?
However many yeah, to produce a great
Yeah.
book, and I want to produce a great book, because we're going to teach people world's greatest assistant.
Mhm.
And then I need to get going so I can like put up a pre-order on it. So I could order for a pre-order. But in the meantime, they can download my little ebook. You can share with them the 249 things if you
Okay.
want.
Sure.
But they can also get my wife's books, right?
Yeah.
My wife is amazing. She can crank out a book in about 3 or 4 weeks, right? With the editing and everything.
Yeah.
And then she's doing marketing and she's also my CFO. She does that in between. So she's my chief financial officer, but what she really wants to do is her books. That's
Yeah.
how so she's got assistants now that help her with bookkeeping and stuff like that. So what she really wants to do is her books. And she's got a huge research library. And now we're getting into using all sorts of cool tools like AI to help her to not only write, but, and of
Research.
course she uses
Mhm.
research. Oh, yeah, the research is incredible. She's got a great library, but she can also research using those
Mhm.
tools. She creates models. She designs the book covers, but she might create a model
Yeah.
using a tool,
Yeah.
to create a great
Yeah.
face
People will
for
have
us
to
to
check
use.
out her website. It's ninajarrett.com. We'll put it in the show notes. But yeah, the covers are
Yeah, she's
beautiful.
incredible. Yeah, she does great. She's also going to edit all those books. Like next year, she's going to dial it back on the writing
Mhm.
but she's going to edit her existing books because her books are steamy romance, if you know what that is. So
Yeah.
it means there's some sex in there, but
Yeah.
she's going to make clean romance, right? She's going to make clean or sweet romance that don't necessarily have the sex in it. And so she'll be editing her existing books. So there's a version of the book, right? Which has a whole nother title and is the clean versions. Right.
Mhm.
And so these are, yeah, great covers
That's a good idea.
and she does great. Yeah, and so she'll be able to double her catalog, but also be able to take a break
Mhm.
and focus on her market. She's ready to scale. Like, even though she had an $8,000 month last month, she's ready to have a 20,000 or $40,000
Yeah.
month, right? She's ready to scale
Mhm.
and sell all of her audience because she's a great marketer too. I
Yeah.
mean, she's in there.
Well, and then the
St
next step is
I don't know what the
Spanish,
team.
right? Next step is other languages, and then the next step is
Oh, yeah.
licensing.
Yeah, hot tip. Apparently, Germany is a big thing.
Right. Yeah. Well,
Amazon.
and actually, I just heard, you can tell your
Yeah.
wife this, there's over 20 stores in the United States focused on romance, focused. So, and they're huge stores too.
Focused.
But and they're physical bookstores. Like
Wow.
physical bookstores, everyone's saying are dying, right? Well, there's this
Right.
genre, the romance genre is really big, and so have her look up these top 20 bookstores. They only sell romance, very niche. And actually, one of our authors, who's a romance author, was saying, "Wouldn't it be fun?" And he's seen these around the romance trucks. So they have like a book truck, like the book library. It goes around to the different fairs, but they only do romance. And you can have it all bougie and have like beautiful chairs and like make it the whole inside of the book truck, the book library is like where you can go and sit down on the velvet chair and read your romance book or buy your book or have a reading or it's just kind of fun. I was like, that'd be cool to have a little
That's
romance truck go around to the different fairs.
I just reached out to one of my assistants and they're starting to send me a list of those 20 bookstores
Perfect.
that exist in the United States. They're all different places.
And then, like you
She
just
said, I
said,
wish,
it's big in Germany. So I bet you they're in Germany too. Most likely we copied them. So usually that's what happens is United
yeah,
States copies someone else. Right. Well, I think
that's
the
amazing.
time's almost up, but tell us your last final thoughts
I
about
think that,
about book
well,
publishing.
only one out of four people have would like to write a book, right? Is what I understand. I don't know. What are the statistics that you know about regarding who wants to write a book?
Yeah,
How many people actually want to write a book?
I think they say 90% of people have thought about writing a book before, but only around 1% actually
Yeah.
do it
Wow. So 90% of the people want to write a book.
or have
And
thought
so
about it
good.
at
It
one
could be
point in
children.
their life. Yeah.
Good. So then you have a book in you. So you should just do it.
Mhm,
They should contact you and
mhm.
you'll contact me. And between the two of us, we'll get it done. Why
Yes.
not? Even if it's just a passion project, great. But you know what? We might be able to take a good idea and help you to make it into a great idea.
Yeah.
And then and then we can even help you figure out. My wife would tell you a couple of things. She'd say, write to market, make sure there's a market for what you're writing,
Mhm.
right? She would also say basically, I mean, you got to basically, I mean, she believes in going wide with your publishing and publishing on your own platform as well as all other platforms. And yeah, now you've just opened up live bookstores to us.
Yeah.
That's incredible advice because we like to travel,
Mhm.
you know? So, and then the third thing would be get some experts on your
Yes.
team. Write my wife and tell her, what your dreams and your thoughts are. She'll share with you various tools and you'll be one of them now, right? Your podcast, what you have to offer is one of the things she can tell people about.
Right.
And, of course, I'll be sharing this like crazy. I'm really excited. I get so excited about books. I get excited about certain things, marketing, helping people grow their business, books, helping people solve problems in their lives. These are the things that get me excited. And, books do all of them.
Yes, they do. I love it. Well, thanks, Barry, for being on our show today. We'll put those links up in the show notes for ninajarrett.com as well as the 249 Things booklet from Team Builders Agency. Thanks, Barry, for being on the show. And if you want to write and publish your book, contact us at eliteonlinepublishing.com. Hit that author submission button and we'll see if you're a good fit for us. Talk to you soon.
If you want to write a book and become a best-selling author, you're in the right place. At Elite Online Publishing, we can help you create, publish, and market your book so that it becomes a #1 bestseller. We work with a limited number of authors to ensure that they receive the best possible service. So if you want to learn how to write and publish a book that will empower you to smartly grow your brand, business, and credibility, apply today. We look forward to working with you.